Hey everybody, what's going on? Amir Fazeli here from Adonis Athletics. In today's video, we're going to talk about the squat and more specifically in regards to how to distribute the frequency and what's optimal frequency, what's optimal volume, and how to set it up. So in terms of volume of squat, it does differ person to person. Just get the back here. It does differ from person to person. Actually, come here, mate. You're a new model. So, Josh over here, he's got a very weak squat. We've been working on it. It's taken its time because, unfortunately, he just doesn't have the dimensions to be a natural squatter. So, for somebody like him, actually, volume makes a big difference. All jokes aside, somebody like him who's got longer legs and also relatively taller just in general, high volume of squatting is going to destroy his back. So that's something that's going to be playing a factor into having a program for him and how that's going to play out with the rest of his deadlifts. Cheers, Joshy. That's good. So someone like Josh, because he's taller, although this is digressing a little bit from what I was going to talk about, someone like him, you got to be careful how much volume of squats you give him, because he's a low bar squatter, so naturally he's going to be using much more lower back in his squats, and when it comes time to deadlifting, he's also a conventional deadlifter, so that's going to affect his level of readiness and soreness in the back. So you got to make sure that it's all balanced out well. Now, going back to the original question. In terms of volume and frequency, let's just talk about frequency mainly, because volume is something that you just got to identify and you get to as you train more and you sort of figure out what kind of volume you respond to, okay? So it's not somewhat actually, it's very highly sort of individualized. It's something that you figure out as you go. You start at a certain point and you just add to it and see what you can recover from, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. That's what recovery is. The stress that you give the body, but how much you can recover from. That's what's important, not just how much you can give the body. Then, once you've established how much volume you can do, you will most likely get better results, especially with squatting and a lot of other lifts when it comes to strength development as well as muscular development, if you can increase your frequency, even for the same amount of volume. So, what you would do in a case like that, if you're already squatting, say, once a week, you would divide up the volume to twice a week. And let's just say if you're doing 6 total sets, on one day you might do 4 sets, and on the second day you might do 2 sets of squatting. And you would just slowly start to add to your volume over time. If you can do a 3rd day of squatting as time goes on, then you do a 3rd day of squatting. Typically, higher frequency training is a better way to do things. It has a myriad of advantages and reasons why you would do it and why you should look at doing it. Not everybody can handle it. Some people get beat up from it. It's not for everybody, but the majority of the population do well better with higher frequency training. And then as your body gets adjusted to the second day that you're doing, you can add in a 3rd day as you slowly start to increase more and more sets. So it's a little bit of a trial and error, and it's also something that's a little bit more medium to long term. You can't just sort of add all these frequency immediately if you're somebody who's more of a beginner or early intermediate. You really need to give your body a little bit of a chance to get used to things and slowly start to add things as time goes on. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Hope that helps out. Stick around for more to come.